What's up, guys? I have a really exciting video for you today, for me at least, because I got a couple of knives here that I think really compare good to each other and are really great knives from what I've seen so far. I've had this for a little bit longer than I had this. This is a pass-around knife, so I think Stassa 23 and Zelric 42 for organizing this to get this knife in my hands, because I wouldn't have got this without them. I did buy this with my own money though, and so this is the Tuya Knives DW1 Envy. And this is a ZT 0609. It's the 20 CV version. They got a sprint run out right now in S35BN, but this is the 20 CV model. So these compare both titanium frame locks, flippers only, the best steel 20 CV M390, which are basically the same. So I'm gonna go through each category, which I usually go to, and assign a winner to that category, basically, and winner, loser, or they can tie, and then total them all up. So first thing we'll start with is the blade. So on the 0309, you have, like I said, 20 CV, which is going to be the same as M390. It is almost 3.5 inches, and M390, and this one is 3.25. So, and now that I have my calipers back, you're going to see the biggest difference in the blade right here, the thickness, 0.138, 0.12. So, while we're at it, check the handle thickness, 0.45. 0.49. So you see the differences there in the blade and handle, but like I said, the steel is equivalent. Now it comes down to preference. Do you like a thicker blade for more hard use? I mean, look at that tip. That tip is not going to break. This is almost like you can drive it in to a piece of wood and twist it, and it's not going nowhere. So Tanto blade, here's how they do it. Stonewash on the flat. This is flat ground too, so it's like a high sabered flat grind with this fuller, and then the tip for the Tanto is kind of polished, and so are the flats. They're not polished, they're satin ground. This one going this way, this going this way, and then stonewash there. So that's a preference. If you want a hard use, or you want something that can slice. And this one also stonewash here, satin on the blade, has a harpoon. They kind of chamfer the edges right here, so it's soft on your thumb, but then up here it's sharp, like it's pretty sharp right here. So performance, but the blade on this one is rounded all the way around, so the blade is soft all the way around. So I'm gonna say they're tied here, because if you want a hard use, something you can stick in a piece of wood and twist around and pry, you'll like this blade better. If you want something that's more slicey and cuts, so I forgot to do the behind the edge thickness. Alright guys, I was getting a bad reading on behind the edge thickness. So let me measure it again. Alright, there's that. There you go for this one. So it is thinner behind the edge. So the blades, there is jimping on this blade. It has a little ramp. Like I said, this one has a kind of a divot in that it's almost like a harpoon type of shape, and tanto shape for this one. But so I'm gonna call these a tie. This is gonna be personal preference. Deployment is for both flipper tab only. That's the only way. This one comes out very good. This one fires out harder though. It rockets out of there like farther, harder. So I'm gonna give the score to the Tuya Knives for the best deployment. And following that up, the action. I mean, this is one of the smoothest knives I've ever felt, and I've had a lot in my hands. So you see, it almost wants to cut my thumb off. But I think they get it this good because I think they have a larger ball, a larger detent ball, but the lock bar tension is soft, so there's not that much lock bar tension, but the ball sticks in there enough to make it a good detent. So that's very cool. The action on the ZT is still good, respectable. You can shake it close, but it's just not as false shutty as the Tuya Knives, and I think that's because it has a lot more lock bar tension to it. Yeah. And this could be still breaking in. This was in a lot of people's hands, so it got disassembled and oiled, and so I think with breaking in this would become better, but right now I'm gonna have to go with the Tuya Knives for the deployment and action. Value, this knife is $219. $219. There is a code called VIP5 that will save you $5. So now you're down to $214 for M390 titanium frame lock. $214. This is $220 for the same steel titanium frame lock. But here's the thing. Made in the USA. So you're getting American-made product for just a couple dollars more than Chinese-made. And typically, you know, you'd like to see the Chinese manufacturing be significantly less. That to compel you to get it. But you know, a lot of things are changing, but you know, just that might be a factor for some people supporting American made for basically the same price. So value, I'm gonna go with ZT for the good value of this. You do have the pivotless pivot, so not only are you getting USA, but it's a famous knife designer. And I know that's not to knock anything about Dave Warren, because he did design this knife, which is excellent. It's just I don't know the background if he's as well known as R.J. Martin for designing knives. So I don't know that. He might be. Let me know in the description if you know if he's done a lot of knives or if this is his first or what. But value, I'll go with ZT on the value. Ergos, this was a tough category. you can get a good 4-finger grip on both knives. But this thumb ramp is really comfortable, and the fact that the scales are contoured and they are a little thicker. So you remember the measurement that I had, it was thicker than these, and so it just fills the hand a little bit more, and it's just a tad more comfortable. I like how this has a little bit of a stick out right here to stop your fingers. This feels like you could come off of them a little bit, but like I said, that was close. But I'm giving it to the Tuya Knives for the ergos, the thumb ramp, and the thickness of the handles, and this part feel better. Pocket clip. Okay, so this isn't the stock pocket clip. This is MXG gear clip. The stock pocket clip is pretty bad. But I mean, it's not bad. It works. It's functional, and it would leave you about that much out of pocket, which is not too bad. This is a milled clip, and you don't have an option of getting a new clip, and it will leave this much out of your pocket. So let me show you. So even if I would have kept the stock, well, that's what that looks like in there in my pocket. So you got some sticking out, and even with the stock clip, it would have been that much sticking out. But now with the aftermarket clip, so this allows you to put an aftermarket clip on, it's totally hidden, which is preferable. Generally, some people don't care about deep carry clips. I like deep carry clips. This is a good milled clip, and it's thick. I mean, it's wide, so you can get lots of thick pants to use it. So it's functional, nothing wrong with it. It's just you don't have an option to put a deep carry on if you wanted to, and that much is sticking out. So the pocket clip goes to ZT for the win for that one. And let's do the weight. Alright, now the weight is it was interesting. You think about the size of this knife. They're both the same size. I'll put the overall length on here for both of them, but they're basically the exact same size knife. This one, you can see they do internal milling, which is cool, which saves a bunch of weight, especially with that thick blade. You're under 4 ounces. But now look at ZT, because they have no internal milling, but because of the thinner handles and the thinner blade stock, you're going to get a tiny bit extra savings. So a little over 3.5 ounces. So I'll give the win to ZT on that one, but it's not by much. That was a razor thin margin there. So final conclusions. The last category is aesthetics. So because I think at this time we're at a tie, so the scores will be on the screen. Personally, there's the things I like about both of them. I kind of like the green color with the bronze. I think that's a cool color, and I do like the bronze that ZT did. Both of these knives have complex milled titanium handles. The Tuya Knives is more complex. You can really see that they have all kinds of machining marks. The backspacer, titanium backspacer, this is on standoffs, so that's a preference thing too. You got the lock bar insert there on both of them, steel lock bar. So I think the deciding factor will come down to which one you think looks better, because they're tied in all the other categories. Or if you prefer a knife that is more hard use, you'd go with the Tuya Knives, or a knife that slices better, you'd go with the ZT. If you want the best action, you'd go with the Tuya Knife. If you want still great action, and I forgot to mention, on the deployment, you can push button the ZT, but you can't really push button the yeah, you can't really push button the Tuya knives. You have to light switch only. Just the way that it's shaped. Both of these flipper tabs are well done though. They're rounded, they're no sharp edges. So yeah, it basically comes down to preference, and my personal collection, I plan on adding this one to it if I can. So this one, I already bought this one, but if I can pick up one of these at a better price, or a pretty good price, because I did get this one at cheaper than $220. You can check out. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I got this cheaper than $220. But anyway, that's my review and comparison of the Tuya Knives Envy and the ZT 0609. Yeah, 0609. So I hope you guys liked it, and have a good one.